Good news, everyone. Joe Biden's going to be giving very, very short speeches. Why is that? Because he's suffering from senescence, senility, and cognitive decline? No. No, because brevity is the soul of wit. People want crisp, sexy little speeches. This is a time when we should be talking about nuance, complexity, shifting taxonomies, how the old labels of left and right and Republican and Democrat no longer apply, a need for a resurgence of spiritual faith and spiritual awakening among the electorate, a new resource for moral authority within government. No, what we're getting given instead is, we've got an election coming. We need to hide Joe Biden away. So let's spin this, that he's going to be giving really short speeches now. Why? Because it's crisp, it's sexy, it's new, it's improved, and it's certainly not to mask the fact that the poor guy is clearly experiencing deep senility. Let's have a look.
We have news this morning from NBC News that the campaign is looking to shorten its speeches. Biden's general election strategy is less is more.
Less is more. Even though you might think that the word less is the opposite to the word more, as less implies a deficit and more implies abundance, we're going to tell you the opposite. Like the way that we're changing the meaning of all words now. Like free speech, that's evil. And going to war and funding wars continually, that's for peace. You see how it works now? It's not about hiding Joe Biden because people will not be able to ignore the evidence of their own eyes that this is a guy in serious decline and he isn't capable of making the kind of decisions that a president would necessarily make, and therefore it's obvious, isn't it, that power is controlled by a set of deep state institutions, that the strings are pulled from somewhere far away. I mean, look at this cadaverous geezer. There's no way he's making those decisions. Therefore it's obvious. Oh my God, it's obvious. I've seen the light. The scales have fallen from my eyes. These choices must be made by deep state operatives, the blob. Call them what you will. Democracy's a sham. Democracy's a sham. Democracy's a sham. No. Less is more. You see? It's a different word, but it's the same thing as more.
The president's aides are seeking to tighten his pitch to voters with shorter, crisper speeches. To be honest with you, Quentin, I think that's a very smart idea. I think
for everyone.
For everyone.
It's a smart idea for everyone. Joe Biden should give short speeches. Joe Biden from now on is going to give his speeches from inside an electronic coffin. The lid will flip open. He'll emerge like Nosferatu. I'm here to win your vote. It's brilliant, it's snappy, it's fun. Isn't it extraordinary how the legacy media try to spin this as a positive? Do they think that every single person watching this doesn't realize that the reason Joe Biden's having to be parked behind closed doors is because his every public appearance is further evidence of his incompetence, up to and including potential public defecation? We can't rule that out. He might literally not be able to control his bowels, and yet we're invited to believe he's in control of the most powerful nation on earth. Obviously, this is an attempt to repeat the strategy that was somewhat successful, depending on what you believe, in getting him elected in the first place. Keep this guy out of the way, focus on attacking Trump, vilifying Trump, and hope that there are enough metropolitan progressives who feel emotionally so reviled and repulsed by the phenomena of Trump that it will be enough to bring this anodyne, rather inert character into a second term in office, even though, as I've said before, your own eyes, your common sense is screaming to you. An inner harbinger, an inner choir is saying, how can that man be running the country when he can't even run his own underpants?
For everyone. I appreciate that approach, because it is a way for the president to sort of hit with clarity, stick his points and move on and not get lost and sidetracked.
He's got to hit his points, He's the ninja president. He's coming in. He's hitting his points. His stick and move. He's Muhammad Ali. Look at him. Look at him go. I ain't got no beef with the Viet Cong. Why should I be dying? Why should I be dying in a crazy foreign war? No, don't say that. It's amazing. You know, he'll be quick. He'll be fast. He'll be memeable. He'll go viral. Yeah, kind of like TikTok. Oh, no, not like TikTok. TikTok's evil. We're banning TikTok elsewhere. TikTok, no, but Joe Biden, he's like a one-man TikTok. He's tic-tac-toe. You can't lose as long as you start in the middle square. Right, kids?
Give us a little bit more of the scene setting around the thinking there and trying to reimagine the campaign going forward with what you just said and this idea now of the president tighten his grip on his speeches.
Right, I'll answer that question for you using the simple tool of honesty granted to me recently by personal spiritual changes. What it is we've realised that Joe Biden on his own is absolutely unelectable. Any idiot can see this person is not capable of running the country. Not only that, it's become plain that the whole of the Democrat Party is completely deployed in the interests of the military-industrial complex and Big Pharma, engaging in military campaigns by proxy or by armament across the world that are increasingly unpopular, even with our own avowed demographic. We can't allow people to witness and experience that through the clumsy, tumbling, rambling speeches of this inept avatar that's been put before us. So what we're doing is we're just going to trot him out, hope he don't himself, and say something quick like, Trump's bad. Trump's a bad guy. You gotta vote for Christ's sake. You don't vote for me, you're not black.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
You're not white. There must be one of the colors that you're not. And then, did you enjoy your democracy? That's what we're being offered. We can't bring you this earth-shattering, paradigm-changing content without the support of our partners and without clear heads. That's why I'm happy to tell you that AirsTech are the only published, peer-reviewed, patented EMF protection solution. That means electromagnetic field, you know that. Trusted by experts, neuroscientists, doctors, biohackers, and pro-fighting athlete cage fighters. Its effectiveness has been proven in real time using EEG brain scan demonstrations. Remove the fear and unknown levels of daily exposure and have peace of mind with AirsTech LifeTune protection. Over 20 years invested in research and development, AirsTech technology creates synergy between you and your devices by modulating and transforming chaotic frequencies to match our own biological energy. Unlock better wellness. Go to airstech.com and use the code Russell30 for 30% off your entire purchase. Have one of these in your area. And remember, if you're an awakened wonder, you can see in our 5G video exactly why this stuff is so important. So take advantage of this offer. Click the link in the description. Let's get back to the content, baby.
Look, our campaign believes in quality over quantity.
We believe in quality over quantity. Could I say that? Am I going to say that? That I believe in quality? Yeah, just say it. Just say it. It doesn't matter if it's true. Just say that you believe in quality over quantity. What would you prefer, quantity or quality? I don't know, quality. Good. There you go. That's been said now. While we all recognise that what's required at the moment is a kind of reckoning of the obvious shifts that are taking place as a system crumbles, oddly, curiously, like Joe Biden's cerebellum. We're being invited to believe that the solution to the political problems that we face are not more nuance, more complexity, more conversation. Like, consider someone like Rand Paul or Thomas Massey or Bobby Kennedy, figures from various political perspectives, getting down and saying, look, right, what are we going to do? There are a variety of areas where we disagree, but it's our job to bring America together. Clearly, there are some people that are MAGA right, they'd be called. The basket of deplorables, let's call them that. The people that believe that Trump has been robbed and that Trump is the solution. Those people have got to have a voice, even if you hate them, and you clearly do. We see your hatred from them every day. They've got to have a voice. They've got to be brought to the conversation. We can't approach it like, screw those people. Them. They don't deserve a voice. And then there's the people that are on the Black Lives Matter side of the conversation, the progressives. We've got to somehow find a way to bring this country together or negotiate a way to federalize, decentralize, democratize, create something new. No, what we're being offered here by the legacy media that essentially operate as the amplifiers of the agenda of the state, and I don't even mean the national state anymore. This is a globalist state, as will become clear as we discuss the WHO treaty elsewhere. What we're being asked to believe is that at the time that they're banning TikTok, the whole world should become TikTok. The president's speeches should be TikTok memes. Why don't you get him out there in a leotard, presumably with some sort of catheter, to do a little dance for you? To do a little dance like a key worker or a health worker, and have that instead of politics. Have that instead of clarity and transparency. Have that instead of integrity. Have that instead of God. This is what we're offering you.
We believe that these touches, these smaller things that are getting directly to the point about what is going on in the stakes of this election are going to be easier for voters to tap into and sort of also go out and say and talk to their friends and family about what's at stake.
Yeah, get out there. You do the job. You do the work. Watch a 20-second speech by Joe Biden, and then you get out there and tell your friends and family, you better vote for Joe Biden, because did you see him here? This is brilliant. It's so catchy. It's so crisp. Did they really use the word crisp? That's marketing language. The same way as they've tried to use the word decent.
You're a decent man. Decency as well.
The same way that they're trying to present Biden to you as a family member, a senior family member. You wouldn't judge your own grandfather, would you, if he shat himself on the couch and was unable to engage in international diplomacy because it was too complex? You wouldn't blame your old grandfather, would you, if your grandfather, instead of representing the interests of the domestic population, instead listens to donor class and lobbyists and the military-industrial complex? You wouldn't condemn your grandfather if he continued to supply arms, even if you thought that those arms were being used to desecrate entire population. You wouldn't condemn your grandfather, would you, if your sweet grandfather was out there endlessly funding a war against another nuclear-armed superpower that could bring you to the brink of Armageddon? Yeah, I would actually. I'd say, Granddad, sit down. You're too old to do this. You had a good go. You tried your bit. Actually, even when you were in Congress and stuff, you've actually been nothing other than a career politician. Even in your prime, you were little more than a Congress operator, plainly doing what that system does, garnering profits, creating relationships, acting out of self-interest. Now, Grandad, enough's enough, Grandad. Oh, sorry, I was only trying my best. I was only trying my best to bring about a one world government. I was only trying to facilitate NATO and the WHO being able to dismantle the sacred tenets of the Constitution. Well, Grandad, no more. Sit down on a rocking chair, on a stoop, and allow saner minds to take over. It's not to do with age, it's not to do with seniority, it's to do with transparency, it's to do with ethics, it's to do with integrity. These are the values that have to come to the forefront of American political life, and I don't see a pathway for them at the moment. Do you? Hey, but that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments and chat. This is all about you. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.